Have you ever just stopped and wondered, what's my real purpose? Why am I even here? It's a question we've all asked ourselves, right? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty profound perspective on that, one that suggests your life isn't random at all. Actually, it might just be a mission you chose for yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty much one of the biggest questions out there, isn't it? What is my mission? And according to the ideas we're looking at today, the answer is, well, it's kind of simpler, but also way more profound than you might think.
And here it is. Fundamentally, the whole idea is to learn how to be your true self. Okay, so what does that actually mean? Well, it all kicks off with this really radical idea. Your life isn't some random accident. It was chosen. All right, so let's talk about your life's true mission. Think about the challenges you face, those patterns that keep showing up in your life. From this point of view, those aren't just annoying obstacles. Nope, they are the exact experiences your spirit chose to explore. And why? What's the goal? It's all about growth, transformation, and ultimately aligning your everyday self with let's call it the core frequency, the vibration of your true higher self. Okay, to really get this, we have to wrap our heads around this idea that we're living in two realms at the exact same time. The thinking is, we never actually leave the spirit realm. We just focus a piece of our consciousness right here, in what we call physical reality. So, let's break it down. Think of the spirit realm as your natural state. It's home, it's timeless, limitless, it's who you really are. Physical reality, on the other hand, that's more like a temporary, super-focused dream. It's this incredibly powerful, convincing illusion that we've all decided to jump into. We're not here forever, but while we are, man, it is one heck of a tool for learning and discovering new things. Which, brings up a pretty obvious question, right? If you're this timeless, all-knowing being, just chilling in your natural, limitless state, why on earth would you choose to forget all of that and dive into a world full of limitations and challenges? It sounds kind of crazy. But the answer is actually pretty amazing. The idea is we choose to forget so that we can experience the pure joy of remembering who we are, but from a totally new point of view. It's in that process of rediscovery that we find something brand new. And get this, in doing so, we're actually helping all of creation itself expand just through our unique perspective. Pretty cool, huh? So if physical reality is this kind of dream or illusion, how is it maintained? What's the engine running this thing? According to this perspective, the whole mechanism is the blueprint of your beliefs. This is the nuts and bolts of how you literally create your reality. Yeah, your belief system. And it doesn't matter if it's positive, negative, or somewhere in between. It's basically the architect of your entire experience. It's not just some passive thought floating around in your head. Oh no, it's an active blueprint that is constantly constructing the reality you see all around you. So here's how it works step by step. First, you have a core belief. That's the blueprint. That blueprint then generates all your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Then, all of that stuff comes together to create your external reality, which then acts like a perfect mirror, reflecting that original belief right back at you, proving it's true. It's a constant feedback loop. So, if you want to change your reality, you can't just change the reflection. You got to go back and change the blueprint.
And this is such a crucial point. It's a massive shift in perspective, right? We go from feeling like a victim of our circumstances to being an active creator. Life isn't just randomly happening to you anymore, it's happening through you. It's being projected from your inner world outward.
Okay, so if this physical life is a kind of dream, what happens when it's over? What about death? Well, this perspective totally reframes that idea. It's not an ending, it's the moment you finally wake up.
I mean, think about waking up from a really, really vivid dream. You know that feeling? You sit up and you're like, whoa, that felt so real. But this, right here, this is my actual life. Well, the transition from physical life back to the spirit realm is said to be exactly like that. Just this profound, moment of realizing you're finally back in your true, natural home.
And part of this whole waking up process is something called the life review. But it's not what you might think. It's not a judgment. It's described as this experience of total, profound empathy. You don't just sit back and watch your life like a movie. No, you actually feel the impact of everything you did, but from the perspective of every single person you ever interacted with. But let me be super clear. This is not about judgment or punishment. Not at all. It's described as the ultimate learning tool for the soul. With the help of your spirit guides, your soul just absorbs the lessons from every single choice, finally understanding the complete ripple effect of your actions. And it's all for one purpose: compassion and growth.
Okay, that's a really powerful look at what might come next, for sure. But what about right now? How do we navigate our path while we're still in the dream? Well, this perspective points to a few tools and clues that can act like little signposts along the way.
So this first concept is really cool. It's called a permission slip. Now, a permission slip can be anything: meditation, astrology, tarot cards, numerology, whatever you feel drawn to. The key thing to understand is that the tool itself doesn't have the power. You have the power. The tool is just something your belief system uses to give you permission to be more of who you already are.
Speaking of signs, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed this? You look at the clock and it's 11:11. You see 333 on a license plate. Suddenly, these repeating numbers are everywhere. Sound familiar? Well, that is a super common example of something called synchronicity. So what is synchronicity? It's basically a meaningful coincidence. It's a signpost from your higher self, kind of like a little wink from the universe. It's there to remind you, hey, you're on the right path. You're connected to something bigger. And yeah, magic is totally real.
And from this viewpoint, the idea goes even deeper than that. It suggests there are really no accidents at all. Every single event, big or small, is a meaningful synchronicity. It's all part of one giant, interconnected orchestration.
So after looking at all of this, what's the big takeaway for our lives, right here, right now? Well, it kind of boils down to this really crucial point. Pain and struggle, that's not our natural state. It's actually a signal. It's the result of resistance to your natural true self. And the idea is, when we finally stop fighting and align with who we really are, that resistance and all the pain it causes just starts to dissolve.
And that leaves us with one last really powerful question to think about. If your life really is a chosen experience, an adventure that you yourself designed for your own growth and expansion, then how are you going to choose to live it, starting right now?